All right, all right, all right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do this year. This is only the beginning of a very long season, but Game 1 means just as much as Game 82. Now, we have some new faces here that I really expect to make an impact for us this season. We've already seen flashes of what they can do for us, but I expect all of you to go out there and execute just like we did in camp. Ain't no more excuses. It's time to get serious. If we play our brand of basketball, there's no telling where this team can go. So get out there, get warm, and let's go win this game.
My first NBA game. Can't believe it's finally here. You work your entire life for something, and then when it's right in front of you, it's almost hard to believe. But I'm ready. And now it's time for me to show everybody I belong. And do my best to represent Harlem.
Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And joining us in a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke. And this matchup with the Mavericks, it's the first game of the NBA's regular season. Last season, they had the upper hand in the series, going 3-1 against these guys.
And they were able to take the season series in that matchup last year, but overall, two teams that were very similar in the standing.
Yeah, they were able to make the plays to come out on top, but it really could have gone either way, and you could say the same for tonight's game.
All right, ready to go? Ready to go?
So Phoenix will get the first possession. Now we'll look at Dallas's starting lineup. Parsons and Dirk are in at the forward spots. Williams is out there with Matthews. And it's Pachulia in at the 5 down low.
And how about last year, Dirk Nowitzki jumping to 7th all-time in
but for years to come.
Mavericks trail by 6. Parsons outside. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. He's drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Well, with Nowitzki passing Malone and the scoring, as Greg was just talking about, Clark, you know, this is a guy that obviously has Hall of Fame written all over.
No question about it. First ballot in my mind, and he's got a game that stands the test of time because it's not predicated on athleticism. It's all skill-based.
And Chandler Parsons really set off a Texas rivalry last year, drafted by the Rockets in the 2nd round. He received an offer sheet in free agency from the team's rival, the Dallas Mavericks. Eventually chose Dallas, injured in the playoffs, hurt a knee, only played the 1 game. But I think they've got great things ahead for him with the Mavs.
Yeah, you know, Parsons was a restricted free agent, so that meant the Rockets could match if they wanted to, but they declined to match Dallas's offer, which sent Parsons packing just up the road in Texas.
Here's Barea. 1:35 left in the first. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, earlier I had a chance to speak with Rick Carlisle. He told me that they'll have their work cut out for them looking to score inside with the elite shot blocker and defender Tyson Chandler patrolling the paint. He said he was the Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. He's got length, mobility, toughness, and the want to. He brings effort and communication defensively, and you can't forget about him at the other end either. an improved shooter, and he can definitely finish. Kevin, a ton of respect for what Chandler brings to the table.
Thank you, Doris.
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slant.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends. You know, back to the topic of Parsons' free agency, the offer from the Mavs was 3 years, $46 million. Houston didn't want to go that high, so they reluctantly let Parsons leave. Ultimately, Houston filled Parsons' small forward role with the signing of Trevor Ariza. Not bad. He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
The Suns have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. And that one misses.
And talking about the Texas showdown over Parsons last year, even his teammates got involved. After Parsons left, James Harden reacted saying that Dwight Howard and Harden were the cornerstones of the Rockets. But that's probably nothing compared to the rivalry that the two teams' ownerships felt.
Freak dishes to Chandler, and he uses both hands to jam it in.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
The Mavericks trailing. Barea kicks to Parsons. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Phoenix grabs the miss. And here we go. Freak heading to the hoop. The big dunk at the end of the break. And that's the very first basket right there, folks, of what is hopefully a very long and a very prosperous career from Freak.
Yeah, and you know, he can relax a little bit now. That first one is in the books. It won't be the biggest bucket he makes in his life, but man, it may be the most memorable.
I think you may be right about that. No matter how many thousands of them he winds up with, he'll never forget that first one.
Well, earlier we sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA game.
You know, I've thought about this moment my entire life. Now that it's finally here, the feeling's pretty crazy. But I know it's just the beginning. I got a lot of hard work ahead of me to get to where I want to go, to be the best player and the best teammate I can be. But this is an exciting first step, no doubt.
You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective from most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I mean, I really like his approach to the game. What remains to be seen, though, is will that translate to consistent production on the court.
.151 left to play here in the second quarter.
You know, the Phoenix Suns played well overall last season, but they still couldn't match up against some of the teams in the West. Had a hard time with in-conference battles.
Freak in at point guard. Chandler out there with John Lewis. Then it's P.J. Tucker, and it's Knight in at the 2. That's who's out there for Phoenix. Chandler is screened. Clock at 6. Outside Knight fires the 3. They get it back. And the dunk by Chandler.
Man, he's just going all out to get the second chance points. Just a terrific finish.
There was no one that was going to prevent MGA from converting that one.
Well, clearly this is the kind of game that could come down to 1 or 2 plays, and he wants to be the guy to make those plays.
And Parsons gets it to go. And for the Suns last season, Greg, they ended with a record of 21-31 against the Western Conference. It's something that you can point to, Greg, as a reason they failed to make the postseason.
Great point, Kevin. And the big problem for the Suns were the other Western playoff teams. Only went 8-22 against the top 8 in the West.
46 seconds left in the first half. Outside Williams. Finally gets one to fall. He's now 1 for 5 with his first make.
Boy, what a significant turnaround here in the second quarter after only making 40% from the field in the first.
29 seconds left in the first half of the game. In the corner, Parsons with it. From downtown. Powell, the pass to Parsons. Tries again. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. This is his second trip to the line in this one.
And really, the line a season ago was just a battle for him. Just about a 72% free throw shooter.
Both free throws good from Parsons. 16 seconds left in the first half of the game. Knight dishes to Freak. His three-pointers off the mark. Williams for three. That misses. Would have kind of had it gone in. And so we conclude the first half. Mavericks ahead. And we welcome you back. Glad to have you with us as more basketball is. 26 seconds left in the fourth. On the court for the Mavericks. Parsons and Dirk are in at the forward spots. Matthews out there with Williams. And it's Pachulia in at the center, locking down the middle. Now here's Williams. Defense is right there. So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
And that'll do it for the first game of the NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for